There we go. All right, guys, this is another draw stream we're doing. Another Batt Murk beatdown. We're drawing a Dolph versus the Kurgan. Kind of got his likeness a little bit going right there. Not too much like him, but looks like a cross between him and Keanu Reeves and The Rock a little. But I'll allow it. Still messing with the feet. Kind of little drawn on those right there, but I'm gonna work on that right now and see what I can do real quick. I'm kind of, let's see here. There was an idea I had before I left, because sometimes you come up with something but you got to leave. Let me try this before. I got my coffee today. No butter today. No butter. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time. Today's like my Sunday, so I go back to work tomorrow. Let's see. I think I might even go this route like that. Something like that, because this guy's got long legs, dude. I want to kind of showcase how tall he is. Let's see. And that kind of looks about right, actually. Some people draw like that. Was it Romita and Jared draws like that, and also what's his other name? Eric Larson. It's not a bad way to draw too. You keeps your board clean, you know. That'd be something I like to practice. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. Can't really sketch like that. All right, we got this right here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with that, and have that right there. I might mess around with this foot a little bit more. The foot's all right. Let me start to clean this up. I need to go and get some more erasers. I'm running low on that. Keep dropping them happy faces. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Yeah, this is Dolph Lundgren's HE-Man versus Clancy Brown's Kurgan, and it's probably going to be up in a castle in Scotland. Looking forward to Masters of the Universe. That's going to be pretty good. I was watching that movie The Bluff yesterday. Like not cowboy, that pirate movie, sorry. Yeah, with Carl Urban and I forgot the Indian lady's name. The one that's married to the Jonas Brothers. She was kicking all kinds of ass in there. But it was fun watching a pirate movie that wasn't just kind of the Disney versions, you know. It was cool seeing a pirate movie, a little more pulpy with a lot of action and gore and just a bloody pirate movie. I haven't seen one of those since like Cutthroat Island. I guess there was a TV show called Black Sails, but I kind of missed out on that. Missed out on that show. Yeah. It's about Blackbeard or something like that. Maybe John Malkovich is in there. All right, let me look at this real quick. Yeah, I could work with that. Now I got to mess with the hand a little bit. He's jumping. He's doing a little jump stab with the sword of the universe. The power sword. I heard that guy that is playing He-Man now. He was saying that he thought the power sword would be like really easy to maneuver and and use, but he had to kind of rethink everything once he picked up that power sword. He said it was pretty heavy, dude. Even for, I think it was like a 20-pound sword or something like that. So you had to go in and kind of figure out what type of moves, what type of language he was going to have for when he was swinging the sword around for the sword fights and whatnot. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Trying to get that sword in there. Power sword's going to be all up in his shit right here. Up in them ribs. Might even redraw this arm right here too. Thinking about it. Just kind of picturing it, what it would look like. Might look kind of cool. Go up in the ribs like that. Oliver Easter. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Everybody, appreciate you. Yeah, I'm drawing Dolph Lundgren, He-Man from the 80s versus the Kurgan from the 80s. So both these movies are getting the remake treatment, but go back and watch the 80s He-Man. It's fun. It's a little cheesy, but it's fun, you know. You kind of know that going in, but it's got that charm to it. Now, Highlander is just an awesome movie. Go watch the old Highlander. Clancy Brown, and Clancy Brown's the Kurgan, and he's a villain. Pretty dope character. Dave Bautista's going to be playing him in the reboot. He's like been campaigning for that role for like I think a decade. The movie's gone through like I think 3 different like productions, and each time he was trying to play the character, you know. And he lost it, and then finally Cavill got behind it, and well, the rest is history. Now the movie's getting made. So the power sword right here. Like to have options when I'm drawing though, you know. So let's see if I can even tweak the arm just a little bit. Maybe this right here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Oh, thanks for the like. I appreciate that. Right now I'm trying to figure out the power sword, you know. He's going to be getting him in the gut, so I'm trying to line up the arm just right, getting the anatomy. So arm is going to be right there, right there, right there. Because I want to see the sword. You know, when you're lining up these drawings, you kind of want to make it. Sometimes I want to certain things I want to be shown. So it's hard getting the angle sometimes. I want to see that handle at least for the power sword. I want to get a good angle for that. So then I also want to see the sword coming out the back at least, so that you get that action right there. You know, it's all action, baby, all action. And then I could show more of the blade if I'm coming at it from this angle. No, I've just been drawing for like 39 years, off and on. Just watching a lot of videos, reading a lot of books. I took some art classes in high school, so that kind of counts. But I recommend it, going to art school, but also picking stuff up, learning on your own. Like taking figure drawing, I think that would be cool if you don't want to go to art school. That's something that I wish I did. Still do it though. So Hey, what's up, Tank? How you doing, buddy? Just getting in there, working on the power sword right now. Just trying to get a good angle for it the way I want to do it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna rock this right here somehow. So I gotta go in there carefully and erase some stuff. This eraser's been kind of acting up. I'm not really trusting it lately. Yeah, so it just depends, I guess, in the school you go to. You don't have to go to art school, though, obviously. Most of my favorite artists didn't even go to art school. But it's the type of thing where you go like, yeah, I'm going to take some classes, like maybe go to community college and do like an anatomy, live anatomy class, that type of stuff I think is cool. Absolutely. There we go. Get rid of that arm right there. Try it. Use this eraser. All right. So now I'm going to be able to draw more of the Kurgan's rib costume right there, which is cool. See, the thing is, you want these guys to have a dope fight pose, and then you want to be able to see their cool costume, and you want to see the weapons. I try to get all that in there, a little bit of gore. It's hard to do all of it at once and make them not look like they're posing too much. So I'm trying to think about that all the time. There are really good art courses online for the cost of a single 3-credit college. See that too? And then like sometimes you might meet some people that could teach you some stuff. Especially like over here in the little scene, little community online, YouTube. People always kind of willing to give some pointers, I guess. I was running through the house today, and I think I pulled a muscle in my back. Running from the living room into the kitchen. I'm like, oh, just out of nowhere. Right before the stream, too. Just making my kids some breakfast, and oh, man. Put the hurt on me. Wasn't feeling good. That was a real I had to turn right now. Speak of the devil pain. Hey, how's it going, Tokaminin? Thank you. I appreciate that. Even if you're just being nice, it's fun when someone tells you you're good or that looks cool or something. Drawing some action right now before this for the Crom story. I got to catch up on that. And then I was reading some comics earlier. But yeah, I was watching that movie The Bluff yesterday. I forgot the lady's name. Like her name's like Papa something, Paprika or something. The Indian actress. She's married to one of the Jonas Brothers. It's a movie called The Bluff. It's a pirate movie. She's pretty badass in there though. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Let's see. I was watching a little bit of that yesterday, hanging out with my bro. we watched that, and we watched The Wrecking Crew. I really dug The Wrecking Crew with Momoa and Batista. I think with Momoa, the thing is like no one really takes him as much as a serious actor anymore. He's kind of got that action dude bro humor, which is funny, You can kind of lean into that. Even I think that when you find something you're good at and you're making a good coin on it, I say ride it, man. Make that money. I was talking to my brother. I was like, "Yeah, I think you make a good coal." He's like, "I don't know, man." He's kind of, I mean, not saying you couldn't do it, but he just kind of got Cole's kind of like a heady guy. He's stressing all the time, and he is more like Conan, I think. Momoa, attitude wise, like assuming. That's like the vibe I get from him. But yeah, I really dug the Wrecking Crew, man. It just leaned into its strengths, and it just felt like an '80s like team up movie, like cop movie. But this one, it's their brothers, so it's even cooler. And yeah, I hope they make a sequel. They set up the sequel, so like, but that movie was really good, and The Bluff was good, and they're both on Prime, and no one really talked about them or anything. Let's see here. What's up, Don? How you doing, man? Let's see here. Did you eat? Did I eat? No, I haven't eaten yet. I'm fasting right now. I'm gonna eat at like probably another 4 or 5 hours. Thanks, Don. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm trying to lose like 50 pounds, so cutting out the tortillas, cutting out the bread, and cutting out the pasta. So my friend right now is grilled chicken. Lots of grilled chicken. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I'll eat. I eat 2 big meals a day. Right now I'm eating some coffee. I eat coffee now. Yeah. Try to clean this little hand up right here. Dirty hands. Yeah, I gotta go get some more erasers. Need to go over to the Art Supply Warehouse, man. They got a big old eraser section there. Literally like a kid in the candy store, like the little dudes in Willy Wonka when they go to the Candyman store or whatever. That's how it was. Seeing all the pencils and erasers and stuff, all the ink pens. I'm thinking there's probably not really that many art supply stores like this. I talk about this place a lot, but I guess it's been around since like the 70s, dude. It's kind of known. Art Supply Warehouse, Huntington Beach, and then they have an online store too. Yeah. This is plastic, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. It's kind of acting up right now, or at least something with the lead on the last couple drawings, or at least the last drawing I was doing. But 90% of the time, it works like a dreamboat. This is a Pentel high polymer. But yeah, you got to keep cleaning it and stuff, and yeah, it works great. Sometimes you got to hit the page kind of hard, like hit it real hard and to rub it off, because and you can't stop moving, otherwise it'll leave like a smear on there. So that's one downfall to this. So it's almost perfect, but not perfect. I'm always looking for perfection when it comes to pretty much erasers, man, because that's always been like my main thing. Is like I want to be able to erase things a million times without fucking up my page. I like to erase. And I'm of the thought that like you can savage a drawing no matter what. There's always a way out of it. You know what I mean? There's always a way, as long as you have an eraser, maybe some whiteout. As long as the base of the drawing is good, the structure and everything's cool, for the most part. But still, even at that, you can still go in there and erase it. All right. I gotta get the power started. Oh, fuck. Sorry, guys. That darn muscle in my back. I'm gonna have to do some stretching after this. To look for that power sword. Look for Dolph's power sword. Let's see here. All right, the He-Man sword. Yeah, his sword is different. He doesn't have the actual sword from the cartoon. Yeah. It's way different. Yeah. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, right. Getting those stretches in, Tank. Let's see images. It's good to have a little like I kind of want to just give him the real power sword. So he's rocking the real power sword right there at the premiere. But that's not it. See, that's the sword's different right there, see? It's not the real one from the cartoon. So, but that's cool though, because it sets it up in its own mythos, right? And there it is right there. That's Dolph's power sword. That's Dolph's. All right. Damn, the fucking handle's long, dude. All right. I'm about to get in there. They say that the sword, the gladiator short blade sword, is like the most proficient sword. The Gladius, I think it was called. The one from Gladiator and the one Brad Pitt was using. Because you could just stab, doing all those stabbing, those quick stabs. The stabbing and the jabbing. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's try to figure this shit out. Got to go grocery shopping today. I don't even want to think about it, and I got to start thinking of meals. Those are the healthy meals. The healthy diet. Start doing a lot of that Greek food though. I think that'll be fun. Greek food's always good. A Mediterranean diet. Little hummus. All right, here we go. So we got that right there. Let's see. He's going to probably be grabbing it right about there. And then it's going to come out to about here. Get that right there. And cut in with the... I've been building a world map for my sword and sorcery world that I'm going to be working on the next 30 years. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to build a fucking map. So I've been doing that in Clip Studio. It's been pretty fun. And now I can make my map, and I'm going to start working on some history for my world and make some cool characters. Hopefully. Might be cool to me. They may not be. And start coming up with some character concepts and maybe write some cool stories with these characters. See, we're doing homemade pizzas and Parmesan bread bites tonight. Carving out style. Yeah, it's so good. We carved out yesterday. I went to Domino's. They had a really good deal. It was like for carry out pizza, I think $9 for large one topping. I got like 4 of them, dude. I got it was a barbecue. I got one with barbecue sauce on it and bacon. That one was fire. That one was like the the undisputed like sneaker, And then I got Parmesan. What'd I get? I got Alfredo sauce pizza with bacon. I got Alfredo sauce pizza with with Italian sausage, and then I just got a traditional pepperoni. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people sleep on those Alfredo, and they got a lot of sauces at Domino's that you can order. You don't have to order the marinara all the time. Hey, what's up, Kahuna? How you doing, brother? Going to Costco? Dude, I love Costco, bro. I'm probably going to go there today too, man. I'm going to go see what they got. It's just their meat's too expensive, bro. That shit's like $100 for 4 steaks, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. It's good quality, though. There's one cut there that's hard to find. It's like that cap, that Brazilian cap that they always get for the Brazilian barbecue. They don't sell it at all of them. But if you can get that, dude, you're fucking Gucci. The top sirloin cap. You could put that cap right on a stick and grill it. Yes, sir. I've been using ingredients from Costco to make ramen recently. Holy smokes, dude. It's damn delicious. Oh, okay. I love ramen, bro. I really love now that you're here, man, we've been eating a lot of Hawaiian food, man. There's this new spot over by where we live in Paramount. I don't live in Paramount, but it's over like a few towns over. And it's called Waikiki. And Waikiki Grill. And they have a jalapeno honey Hawaiian grilled chicken, bro. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I can't. And I can't even eat the whole thing. They give you really big portions, and the price is pretty good for you know where it's at. It's kind of like fringe fusion, I guess, if you want to say that. Kind of fusioned out a little bit. But man, and then the katsu, they give you these big katsu orders. Like one order I give to both my kids, and they're like tired just for one order, for one serving for like one person. It's too much. So like literally, dude, we can get like 2 meals out of the place. But freaking love Hawaiian food, man. It's just makes you feel good when you eat it. You know, it's comfort food. That's the word I want to say. It's comfort food. And for me, like I'm addicted to food, man. I'm a foodie. I love eating food. So it's really that's what gets the Burks, man. All the Burkmen. My family, we all die of diabetes and shit. Not saying me, but or my pops, we didn't really do much. But my grandpa and my uncle, they went out and did a lot of shit, and they both died from like food related illnesses. You know, probably my dad did too. Possibly, I don't know. So that's why I'm like, that's like a wake up call to me, man. I'm like trying to really watch what I'm eating. So I'm like, oh gosh, no more fun. I just like look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, you can no longer eat. You can't eat anymore. You can't eat. No more eating. You got to starve. You got to fast, buddy. You got to work out. Now's the chance. Now's your time. I feel like now is my time to really line my shit up. You know, and then I'm looking at, like I'm saying, I'm watching all these older cats like Ernie Hudson. I was looking for his workout stuff, and Terry Crews and Jason Statham. They all do different things, but most of them fast. Terry Crews, man, he fasts, I think 10 o'clock at night till fucking 2 o'clock the next day. He's running like a mile and doing like heavy lifting and all kinds of stuff. And then Statham, he works out for like 35 minutes, I think 5 days a week in the morning. See, looking at your art style, I had a cool idea for a mini comic. It would be a Polynesians racing a Viking longboat in a sea race, and it ends with Thor fighting Maui. Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool. I was. Now that you're here, man, I was saying, Kahuna, I was watching that movie, The Bluff, on Prime. That pirate movie with Carl Urban's the bad guy in there. It's fucking good, dude. Yeah. And what I liked about it, they were bringing in a lot of like cool weapons from that time period that you don't really see in movies that much. They're using tons of blunderbusses, and the gags in there are great. I mean, it's a little Mary Sue-ish. It's a little Mary Sue-ish in some spots. Like she's fucking fools up, you know. But at the same time, it's like, you know, like I'm kind of cool with it, you know. Like I think of like what Howard would do. You know, he had like Red Sonja and Belit and Valeria, they were badass pirate ladies, right? And I'm just like imagining that, you know, like, well, if Howard was watching this, he'd be cool with it. Like that's how his pirate ladies are, his barbarianas, you know. And then I think of like the movie Prey, like she had all the booby traps, and this chick's like that too, but she's just a little more badass, you know. But you know, like most of the time, like, you know, a guy will probably like smash her head in or something, right? In reality, but it's also like, well, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe the chick could do it, you know. Like I see these videos of mothers saving their children from, like, you know, lifting cars up and getting that mother like rage strength, right? It's a thing, dude. And then I watched this video of this like this mom, dude. She got like arrested, and these cops were trying to put her in the cop car, and she kept breaking the handcuffs, bro. And she was just like a soccer mom. She wasn't under the influence or nothing, dude. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like I'll allow some shit, bro. It's basically what I'm saying with the whole Mary Sue-isms. As long as it's I don't know. It just depends. I have to watch the movie and just kind of see if I'm feeling it or not. It's just and it's fantasy too. Ugh, fuck, my back. Ookie. I'll be streaming Chief of War on the Iron Seas Discord soon. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. As long as it's fun, right? Exactly. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be getting Apple eventually. I'm just waiting for all that shit to stack up. So I want to watch that one with Momoa and Batista. That looks dope. I want to watch the Chief of War. Is that what you said? Chief of War. Yeah, Chief of War looks great. And there's a few other ones. I think that show, isn't there a show called like Severance? That's on Apple. There's a ton of shit on Apple, and I never really picked it up. Oh, there's that other movie called The Gorge. That looks cool. So I'm just waiting for everything to kind of stack up. Then I'll get Apple, and then I'll binge everything for like a few months. Then I'll cancel. It's usually how we do it now, right? All right. It is the best possible outcome I could expect of the particular story. I don't think we will ever get something better than this representing Hawaiian culture and history. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and then Momoa directed like a lot of it, you know. I like Momoa, man. I've always been a fan. I was a fan like back in the Conan days, you know. Just a lot of the indie, like a lot of the indie how do you say that, the indie movies he was making, the indie action movies. He's a little more serious in those movies, but now he's making money off of that Aquaman persona, right? That dude, bro, surfer kind of a persona that he could, if he's smart, he'll lean into it and make as many of those. But at the same time, dude, he's still doing serious roles like C and the Warrior Chief. Like no one's really talking about that. They're just talking about like Lobo and, you know, the Wrecking Crew. But he does a great job with that dude bro humor. It's funny. I think he's great at that too. Yeah, but I could see him like in a few years just kind of cutting back, bro, on acting. I could see him just becoming a full-on director, because he's making some big moves right now with like him and Cliff Curtis and Taika Waititi. They're doing that whole like Polynesian studio thing. I don't know if you heard about that, Kahuna. But they're trying to keep things kind of trying to make the more movies over there and hire out more people. Let's see here. What up, Omer? Thanks for stopping by. Fruit. Taika Waititi. Let's see, Omer. I thought that was you in the hearts. Yeah, so drawing the Dolph sword right now. So you got a little tangent right there, which is annoying. The handle's a little thicker in the picture, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm the tangent king. I don't give a fuck. I'll have tangents in my shit. I'm not gonna. I'll try to get rid of them, but I'm not gonna like. Cause sometimes you'll create another problem if you get rid of one tangent. You'll make more. Let's see. I have a grudge against Waititi, but I like the idea overall, kind of like that Matthew McConaughey thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, exactly. Bringing more people over there to film their movies. And they got like, when you think about it, they got some really good, they got New Zealand, bro. You know, you can make everything over there. That's where they shot Ash versus Evil Dead. It doubles as like doubles as like Dearborn, Michigan and shit. You can make like fucking anything out there. The only thing they don't have is like a real. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, in New Zealand, I haven't really looked at their like their metro areas. I don't know how vast those are, so that you'd probably have to go somewhere else for that. I need to widen that blade up a little bit for fun, just a little. Boom, boom. Let me get in there with that. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh no. Keep moving the thing around. There it is. Okay. All right, I gotta clean this up. All right. Now I'm trying to use my memory of what I was going to erase. Sometimes you got to keep like memories of what you were doing. All right, I was gonna make this a little thicker. That's what she said. Homer made the joke. That's right. Okay, I was doing that. Okay. There we go. Okay. I want to go watch Highlander again. So many movies I want to watch. I don't really have the time. It's like I could be drawing right now, you know. But sometimes you have to like give yourself time to just go and relax and watch movies and stuff. No work and no play or whatever it is. Make Jack a doughboy or whatever. Dole boy. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and saying what's up. Appreciate that. Let's see. Get the sword right there. Thing's pretty thick. Trying to keep it looking as cool as possible. Sometimes it's hard. All right. I'm seeing problems in it already. I never knew you. Skeletor's dope in there. Let's see here. The majority of The Last Samurai was filmed in New Zealand, as well as Lord of the Rings, obviously. Also, the Maori are the most brutal Polynesians. They once defeated the British with nothing but stone axes and with stone axe shovels and a few stolen blunderbusses versus the British Navy's 2,500 troops and 10 large guns. Yeah, there's a lot about that, dude. You know, like historically wise, we can be watching, making in movies. It's fun. I was telling my brother too, like I've always been down to have like diverse characters in my books, even before like I was even thinking about the whole like woke thing in there and whatnot. You know, that's how it is. Like if you read like my Butch Cleaver, you'll see a bunch of different races because it's fun. Like to have a bunch of races in there, it just has to make sense. You know, like if I'm making a Viking story, you're gonna have a bunch of Vikings. If you're doing a pirate story, you can throw in all kinds of races, right? Because it's right there. If you're doing like a Indian story, you know, you're going to have a bunch of Indians. Just kind of weird throwing everybody in there. But if you could find a story where you could throw in a bunch of different cultures and races, it's going to make it more interesting and more technical too, because you have to add all the dialect, the slang, all that shit. But you have cooler characters that draw. They're not just copy and pasted a bunch of Vikings in there, right? So I've always been that way. Just not every, you have to have a world that's kind of, or at least a setting that has a bunch of different races and stuff. Diversity is only bad if it's done without care or for the purpose of ideology. Yeah, right. And if it's done like to where it fits the story, because most of the time I'd say it does half the time, and half the time it doesn't. You know, and if it does, it's fucking cool because you can have all these different flavors of characters. They're not all the same. You know, I watched Mando and Grogu last night, and it was fun, pretty good. It made sense and it was fun. Did you saw it in the theater or what? Okay. Now you got my attention with that. Because I've just sorry. I've just been kind of Pedro'd out, bro. You know? I ain't gonna lie. Thought I saw a fucking crackhead out there going next door. I didn't want to have to get out of my chair again. Oh, you saw it in the theater? Oh, okay. Might have to go watch that, brother. Might have to go take the fam out to see that, you know? Because when it came out, bro, we all loved The Mandalorian. I'd say most people did, right? And Pedro started getting all uppity and fucking annoying and being a dumbass. Yeah. Let's see here. Acting all funny. All right. Getting all preachy. Everybody preaches a little bit, but it's like you gotta kind of shut up after a while, you know. Not everybody wants to hear your politics or your religion, you know. That's why it's best to just focus on the fantasy, the fantastical. And that's usually what people are talking about to begin with nowadays. Let's see here. Sorry. Trying to catch up. 5 rules of race swapping. Let's see here. Go check that out. Maybe it's him being really inappropriate with married women or kissing dudes on television. Yeah, see? Acting all fucking weird. I think he's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that dude. Yeah, I think he's just trying to flex in a gross way, and I think he's just a hardcore pervert. I just think he's a straight up pervert. Dude, Pedro's face was kept. Pedro's face was only on screen for like 15 minutes at most. He kept a damn helmet on most time. Yeah, he is, dude. I think he's just a straight up like just do what he can to stay in Hollywood, you know, and yeah, let's go with the narrative and shit. A lot of actors though, they're just fucking weird, dude. And they'll do whatever, they'll say whatever, and they'll do whatever. I have a feeling too, a lot of actors don't even give a fuck about politics. They just kind of do what they need to do to get the roles they want, or to get roles in general and to pay rent. But at the same time, they have this drive to be like artistic that they can't control. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I think actors are all of those things. They're fucking like have this like they have to act, and not all of them obviously, but a lot of them. But a lot of them will just do and say whatever the fuck, you know, political, religious, whatever their like sexual orientation is, they'll bend on it just to fucking get a movie or be relevant. It's fucking crazy. The whole movie was shot without Pedro, except for the only time his face is on. Oh my god. Yeah, he was cool, man. Like, he was cool in a lot of stuff. He just didn't need to say anything, you know? I think the first thing I saw him in was Narcos. That was a great show. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I might have to go check it out, maybe. Yeah, yeah. For sure. Yeah. There's a lot of good movies coming out though. But yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, that looks pretty fun, you know. Historically, actors were genuinely mistrusted. It's a recent trend to care about them or what they say. Yeah, right. First half of the movie had a ton of AI, but was fine. Annoying though. Yeah, dude. I think they're really just kind of sneaking it in there. House of David had it in the. I like the House of David show. It's really good. Like Stephen Lang, he played like Samuel in there, and Martin Ford, the Shao Kahn actor, that big English dude, big swole guy. He played Shao Kahn in the new Mortal Kombat movie too. He plays Goliath. He does a good job in there. But there's a scene where they show the Watchers come down, and that was all AI, bro. And you know how like we can kind of tell what AI looks like. Sure enough, man. I'm not saying we will be able to in a year from now, but I'm like, damn, bro. They just fucking went all in with the AI on that. They didn't give a fuck. You know? And I think if they open up the AI thing, like they really start using it, it's going to be bad for really bad for Hollywood, and the fact that obviously all the actors are going to lose some work and whatnot, and artists too. But once they start giving that to Gen Pop, you know, we're just going to start making our own shit too, and they're going to lose a lot of money. You know, you're going to have like people with YouTube channels just making a bunch of, you know, like that Iron Lung movie. Hollywood's gonna get fucked that way. So they need to probably lean into like what they have right now, and that's actors, because the actors aren't relevant anymore. You know, no one cares what they got to say. That's another thing too. Like they don't even need to talk about politics or anything anymore. They just, you know, no one gives a fuck. Like the movie star is dead. You know, the concept of the movie star. It's the YouTube influencer, unfortunately. Let's see here. So if they're smart too, actors, they would be live streaming now and doing live streams and shit like that, like at least once a week. A lot of them aren't even hip to that. You know, they would be doing live streams and doing some type of commentary on some shit, you know, and promoting their movies and doing movies. The first half of the movie had a ton of AI. I think diversity is great when you don't care and there's racism, because no one cares. It makes it real. Yeah, exactly. I'm back. Yeah, I'm cool with diversity. I think it's good like I was saying, I think it's good in the story. It just has to fit, you know, and not be forced. And when it does fit, it makes the story have more flavor to it. It's not all a bunch of the same race copy and pasted, but you have to do that sometimes. Like I said, half the time the whole story just has one tribe or one type of peoples in it. So unfortunately, it has to be that way. Okay, Pokemon. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. WB. That's what I tell my actor buddy to do. Shit on YouTube. Yeah, no, it's no one's even talking about it. It's not even a conversation, but it's something that they have to be doing right now, and they're not doing it. And the thing is about YouTube, you can literally whoop your phone out like I am right now, and they could be live streaming somewhere on like a jet and just talking about bullshit. You know, they don't even have to do anything, and none of them are really doing it. I mean, some of them have YouTube channels, but they only post like maybe 5 times a year or something. I think Matthew McConaughey has one. But like some of them are getting hip to it though, and they're doing more. Like Michael Rosenbaum has that podcast show, Inside of You. That one's pretty good. I subbed to that show because he was bringing on a lot of those like D and C list actors that I like, and character actors. And now he's kind of blown up. He's got like Keanu Reeves on there. So Rosenbaum from Smallville, and then Michael Biehn, you know, Kyle Reese from Terminator. He's got a show called Just Fooling Around, a podcast. He had Thomas Jane on there. It was a great interview. And James Cameron, obviously, because they've been working together. They're homies forever. But yeah, they need to get hip to that shit. I can't wait to see all my movies with all the good white people. I could always see myself in them. Right? It's understandable. I understand where you're coming from. Let's see here. It's got to make sense. You know. Honky tonks. Right. Yeah, yeah. Right, so there's that. I think I might jump back over here. I think I'm probably going to have to use a piece of paper now. Oh, gosh. Okay. Honky tonk. I actually have a pretty cool idea for a movie. I have a script I wanted to write. It's like, if I ever did like a Hollywood script, I came up with a concept about a year ago, and it's definitely got Momoa in it and Batista and a bunch of other fools. But I was telling my brother about it yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, that could be pretty cool." I was thinking about just writing it and just giving it to just emailing those fools teams. Here, Here's a cool concept. Go make this movie. Here's a little script. I think if I nailed it too, I'd show it like, dude, this is dope, bro. I think they would probably dig it. Yep. That's a little too close to that. See, like in the 80s with all the action stars, no one cared if the blacks or whites or no. Definitely not. Especially if you're doing like a modern movie, dude, like with a lot of those like Lethal Weapon and like when you're dealing with that locale, you're gonna have a bunch of different races, and if you're gonna do that, then fucking put them in there. You know what I mean? Don't just have them all the same race, If you're doing a Viking movie, yeah, you need a bunch of white dudes most of the time, If you're doing a movie in China, you need Chinese dudes, You might have one little white guy running around the background for some shit. I don't know. Maybe not. You know what I mean? But if you're doing like a modern movie in America, you're good, bro. Like, have that in there. And don't be afraid to like show like little Chinatown or, little Cambodia. Like maybe the cops go there or, little Armenia, little fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Make it interesting. Yep. Yeah, the 80s was the best, dude. And then if you got a fantasy movie, it don't fucking matter. You can have, like a lot of people complain about, the Lord of the Rings and whatnot and the race washing. But if that wasn't a Lord of the Rings show, no one could complain. There's really not a lot of people doing that as much. Game of Thrones, they didn't complain. That was great, Okay. I actually loved like doing that, writing different dialects and slang, and because you have to write the dialogue, and then you gotta hit the dialogue with a hammer and reformat it into slang and dialects of those people. I think that's fun. It's a lot of work, though. It is a lot of work. Hey, what's up, Saboteur? Let's see here. Yeah, no one give a fuck in the 80s, though, man, about none of that shit. And in the 90s kind of started a lot of the woke shit, but still no one really cared. But that's when the seeds kind of were really started to germinate. When I run cyberpunk tabletop games, I make players roll their character's race based on area of origin, ethnic demographic charts. Yeah, that's dope. Saboteur Comics. Yes, that makes sense. Mako from Conan, exactly. And the funny thing is, you could have like you could be a white guy and have like a fucking great grandpa, and he could be black, and you would never know. It only takes like 3 generations to change a race, basically, Or you could be a black guy and your great grandpa was white, and you would never know, I find that hilarious for a lot of like racist people, It's like, dude, just shut up. You never fucking know. You really never know, Even if you check out the DNA charts, you still don't know. Right? Think about that. It's kind of crazy. And then sometimes you could pick up some DNA or some genes from like a fucking something from another ancestor you had like however many years ago that none of your great grandfathers had or anything like that, a trait. We don't know shit about genes. We're learning a little bit, but in DNA, we're just basically like kind of tapping the surface of it. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. We are all the human race. Only 3 gets to change your color. Someone go tell Michael Jackson that, huh? Michael Jackson movie was doing pretty good. I'm just not a real big fan. I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson, really. I don't know. I never was. He's talented and all, but just never. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest with you. If anything, I had fun making fun of him, right? Like Tommy Davidson did on In Living Color with Black or White and whatnot. Tommy Davidson was hilarious. I miss In Living Color, man. That show was gold. Oh yeah, Scary Movie. The Wayans brothers are doing that, right? The new Scary Movie just came out. Oh, that would be great to go watch, man. Oh, dude, that and Super Troopers 3 is coming out this year. You know, like I love going to the movies for like a proper comedy. You know, humans are all equally worthless until they prove otherwise. This is true. It's all based on merit, right? It's all based on merit. Yeah. But don't get me wrong. I'm really big into respecting the different races and tribes and keeping races alive. Do you know what I mean? I think that's important as well. Respecting cultures, you know, but also creating new ones, right? I think all that's important. It's always been that way. It's always been that way, and then certain cultures are going to get eviscerated and forgotten about. Certain races will as well. A lot of those Polynesian tribes and Asian tribes, and you hear about, they're just gone. They're just, you know, in recent, I think the last 300 years, there's one I forgot. Horrible. Like my memory is dog shit, but I'm trying to work on getting my memory back. It's a lot of people's problem though, right? We have, if we could remember, we would be rocket scientists, right? I remember the dumbest, worthless shit. It's like, why do I remember that? Yes. I put Jen. Calvinism, not even once. I put Jen. Okay. I gotta get some ref for this dude's feet real quick and his legs. Both these mofos got big old long legs, you know. Clancy and Dolph. I was gonna say Brock. All right. Let's see here. Dolph, Lundgren, and He-Man. Search. Okay. Trying to look for the. I don't think they made really too many toys of him either. Of the Dolph He-Man. Now that I mention it, I see some custom ones though on here. Some custom toys. Yeah. Oh wow, okay. I see one right here that they made one. Okay. The Masterverse. Okay, I stand corrected. All right. Yeah. Okay, there we go. It's kind of wow. That's a lot. He's got a lot of ornamentation. He's got a lot of ornamentation on his clothes. There's look like a toy right there of him. Let's see. Okay. I wanted to say about Mando and Grogu was fun and kids will really like it. I think it has a chance to bring kids back to Star Wars. It's a Jon Favreau directed, so he and Dave Filoni care about. Yeah, dude, that's what I was gonna say. The because you know, like a lot of the YouTube guys that they make all their money off of like hating movies and shit all the time, which you know, like they have every right, and some things are just woke slop, but it's like they're on auto hate for everything, you know. It's kind of just like, hey, you know, not everything sucks. Most of it does, but not everything. Just go watch the movie first, right? But I was gonna say, like, they're doing the predictions on different channels and whatnot, like the box office numbers, You know, like, well, I think people are personally. I think people are kind of Pedro'd out right now, but they have the ace in the hole, and that's Jon Favreau. You know, every now and then he makes a good, makes it, you know, a big. Was it a big stain on pop culture? A good stain, like Iron Man. Yeah, this is gonna be a little challenge right here. These boots. And I think he does a good job. His movies, pretty much, they're all pretty good. I'm passing on the new He-Man movie for many reasons, top of which is Jared Leto. I cannot think of a single performance of his that was actually good. I think he was good in Dallas Buyers Club. Not really my type of movie, but he was good. I think he gets a lot of hate. But I also think he's fucking weird and he's got a cult. So there's that. So far, what I've seen of his Skeletor, I think he's channeling Tim Curry. The look of him is pretty dope. A lot of the movies he's done have been kind of whack. His Joker at times is pretty cool. Sometimes it's whack. It's like a 50-50 for me. Morbius, I watched part of it, and then I never got back to the rest of it. I didn't like how there was a CGI face on that. He played a good junkie in Requiem for a Dream. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. But his Skeletor, I don't have any problems with so far. I think he's doing a great job. He-Man, the movie, looks like they're trying to bring in as many different He-Man fans as possible. Fans of the original cartoon, fans of the old school Dolph movie. That's why Dolph is in the movie. That's why there's the what's that villain in there with the hook and the white hair from the Dolph movie. They put him in there, and then they're also bringing in the fans from the Cartoon Network show. So they're trying to get every He-Man fan in there, except for you, dude. Because I think you're really the old school comic book fan, right? That came with the toys, the old. That's like the original He-Man, right? Yeah, but at the same time, they want to bring in kids, dude. You know, and ultimately, I think He-Man's. I guess right now, the way I feel He-Man is it should be for the kids mostly. You know, to bring them over to, you know, maybe play with some toys too, bro. Like get off their iPad and maybe use their imagination and stuff. And I think if they do that, it's a win, man. But we'll see. Like I was saying, that the movie might be woke slop, but I don't think it is going to be. I think the movie will be fun. I think it'll be a fun time at the movies. And I don't think that if they made a rated R He-Man, the movie would bring in any money. It might, though. It might. And I know Goyer had his kind of rated R dark script on it, you know, but that didn't work because how many scripts have they had now? Like 20 scripts. Did you watch Mortal Kombat Ready, Matt? No, man, I want to go watch it. He was good in Fight Club, getting his ass. See, he was good in there. I don't think he's a bad actor. I just don't. I think he's done a lot of stupid movies. But there's definitely worse actors out there. I did like his Joker. And Morbius and Requiem of a Dream. That's what I'm saying, dude. It just is what it is. And he's a big Masters of the Universe fan. Jared Leto. Leto, what the fuck? So he dug from what he was saying, you know, most people did like He-Man though, dude. Most people liked He-Man. You know, it brought in a lot of people. People love Skeletor, you know? So he did the role. And I heard that he was a big fan of Tron, so he put in a lot of his money. I heard Tron Legacy was pretty fucking good, or the new one. What's it, Ares? I heard Ares was good, actually. You know? I listen to my friends about movies. I don't listen to any, you know? I listen to everybody, but usually if my friends say they like it, it's usually like an entertaining movie because they're like, they have no like bias and they're not on YouTube and shit, right? They're like the everyman. One thing I did hear about Skeletor that what I thought was cool for the movie, he put blood on his face to kind of get his co-stars there rather than having the dots on his face because now they don't really need that as much. So that, you know, you want to be kind of appalled when you look at Skeletor, especially if you're probably meeting him, you know, you kind of want that performance from your co-stars when you're acting. So he did that on set. Let's see here. The 2002 series was good. They never should interact with Earth in a He-Man movie, period. Yeah, I think that's annoying. I wouldn't have done that either. I know that in some of the older stories, obviously, right, his mother is half Earthian or half, I don't know, half, or she is from Earth, right? She's an astronaut. I think He-Man is going to be terrible. I hope it's fun. I think it's just gonna be a fun movie, right? I think it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be as good as The Mummy, right? The Mummy is PG-13, but it's fucking one of the best like action adventure horror movies, everything you could think of. I was talking to my brother. I'm like, hey, dude, I think I like The Mummy more than all the Indiana Jones movies. That's a hot take. And he's like, you know what? I think I do. I think it's just gonna be a fun movie. But could The Mummy have been scarier? Could it have been gorier? Yes, right. I think He-Man's gonna have like that, but it definitely is gonna have a little probably Marvel feel to it as well, right? That's why it's just there's a lot of stuff going on. Why does everyone think I want a dark He-Man movie? I just don't want Marvel slop. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on the movie, you know. If I like it, I like it. Now, and I'll say, dude, I didn't hate Guardians of the Galaxy. I liked that movie. I thought it was fun, you know. Autumn Brights, thanks for stopping by. I learned from Skeletor that if you hate a shop, don't boycott it. Buy stuff and return it. To have much more fun with that. Okay. Ares was terrible. Omer Glitch. Tank. Marvel, the obvious meta joke is obvious. Tank. I couldn't finish Tron Ares. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I agree with The Mummy was better than any indie movie. Fight me. No, it is, right? And they pretty much took like the indie character, right? And then the indie character was just taken from like pulp characters like El Borak and whatnot. He was because if you look at Star Wars and all of fucking George Lucas's shit, it's all pulp characters. Willow's like a Conan movie and a Tolkien movie put together. Star Wars is like fucking sword and space fantasy. There's a lot of John Carter in there, right? See, Guardians of the Galaxy was good. The others were passable. I didn't like. I guess the one thing I didn't like about the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I guess there could be a lot about it. And I've heard people compare like how much better like the comics are. They could have been way better, but I never read the comics. I do know that Adam Warlock I thought was handled poorly in the last one. I thought he could have been epic, and he wasn't. Let's see here. The story made no sense for Tron Ares. It looked cool visually, but it was bad because the story sucked. Oh my god, Street Fighter looks cool. Like for me, Street Fighter again, it's a big old bag of chips, right? It's like we're gonna go play the video game. Let's get in there. To me, it has that same feel as He-Man. However, I have concerns. All right, I have concerns. No, the only thing to me I think is kind of lame is that Blanca is CGI. How are you gonna make Blanca CGI and then Momoa did wolves? He's been in full prosthetic makeup before, right? You're halfway there in that wolf costume that he wore in Wolves. Just dye green. You make the hair on there. You fuck with the face a little bit. You know, take the pug nose off. Cut the nose out a little bit. You're like Blanca almost, right? So they got no business making Blanca CGI. That's stupid. That's stupid. All right, Saboteur Comics. Also, they did the same thing with Stargate. I like that for a Stargate movie. Catherine was so Indiana Jones. Yeah, it was kind of right. The Guardians of the Galaxy comic was forgettable. Okay, so you didn't like it. Yeah. So I mean, I think that the first movie's the best. The second one's not as good, and the third one's probably better. So they're trying to obviously, yeah. There's going to be like Thor Ragnarok vibes in there. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I think that's why they cast Idris Elba for some reason to kind of get those Thor vibes, you know, for Man at Arms. I personally would have casted David Harbour. I think he would have been a great Man at Arms. I think he would have been perfect, like just pitch perfect for the role. Idris Elba, no, I wouldn't have put him in the movie, but I think he's gonna do okay. He's a good actor. What? The Mummy with Brendan Fraser better than Indiana Jones? You're all crazy. Mummy is good, but not better. Yes, I believe it's better. Yes, and this is coming from a guy that, you know, has watched those Indiana Jones movies forever. Idris Elba not being Zodak in his future is a failure. Yeah, right. I was thinking about that. Well, what about Terry Crews, man? What do you think about him? What do you think about Terry Crews? I think Terry Crews doesn't get enough love. I think that guy, should have been like Luke Cage, and sometimes I think he scared Hollywood because he called them out. He called out some producers for getting a little handsy with them. All right. So like I got these shin guards right here. I'm probably gonna go back and like draw those off stream because that'll be a lot of ornamentation. And I'm not even gonna like go full like detailed with the ornamentation. I'm gonna finagle some of it, right? I'm not gonna get in there and do all that. That's crazy. One, because it just seems like too much work, and two, he's moving through the air, so you wouldn't be able to see all of the detail. He's right. So I don't want to do all that. That was a white black guy. I like him in American Gangster. He's funny in there. Yeah. That's like funniest role. Yep. Some chick was interviewing Nicolas Cage. He's like, "Why haven't you joined the MCU?" And I'm thinking like, "Well, he was Ghost Rider." He's like, "Because I'm Nicolas Cage. I'm Nicolas Cage." And she's like, "Okay." I thought that was funny. Nicolas Cage. He's got a bunch of movies I want to watch. Freaking Cage. Cruz could be cool as Luke Cage. He was perfect, dude. He could be great in a lot of stuff. Like I'm saying, dude, he went full cancel on a lot of these like producers, that they were trying to like, get funny with them in Hollywood. And he's like, "Nah, man, ain't about that," Allegedly. Oh, and then he came out saying he was like addicted to porn or some shit. It's like, yeah, you don't got to tell the world that, dog. So they're probably, maybe that's why he doesn't get roles. It's the only thing I think of. But yeah, he's great. Yeah, he'd be good in a lot of stuff. But it's probably the producer thing. They probably got butthurt, because he didn't bend the knee. Some people have this thing called a code that they live by, which is admirable. I think everybody needs a code. There needs to be things that they won't fold for, no matter friends or family or opportunities ahead. You have to kind of live by your own code, right? I think that's important. When everyone's against you, your code will be there. Nick Cage is Spider. Oh, dude, right? Exactly, right? What am I thinking? I totally forgot about that. That looks good too. I'm sorry. I'm gonna watch that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I already got my He-Man tickets though, man. I'm looking forward to that. I hope it's good. Let's see. So he's got a little blaster holder right there. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like a part of me would like to see like a dark, grittier He-Man movie. Like I would like to see one that's like that. One that's rated R too. I'd like to see that. Have you seen the concept artist guy? That have you seen the concept art? Like those painting those busts that some dude did like 10 years ago, where he has like these dark versions of like Skeletor, and yeah, there's been a bunch of them actually. There's been a bunch. There's 2 artists that did that, and yeah, I think there's a version of He-Man out there that's kind of got like that Clive Barker feel to it, dark and scary, and then there's another one that just kind of just looks a little more edgier. There's that. No. Thing is, you got these characters, right? And you want the a lot of these characters are for boomers and for Gen Xers, dude. and we've grown up. We're like in our 40s and 50s, and so sometimes when you see characters, darker, it's kind of cool, right? And sometimes when they're a little more lighthearted for kids, it's cool too. Like I think like of like Thundar, right? The new Thundar comic. There's no gore and there's no blood in those cartoons, but again, it was boomers and Gen Xers that watched it. And I'm reading the comic now, and there's blood and gore in there, and it's fucking awesome. It's a little bit edgier, not much, but just stuff like that. So that's how I feel about it. He-Man has contrast. Heroes are bright and good, and villains are dark and evil. Yeah, no, that is cool. That is cool. Oh, and Leto did wear a muscle suit in the movie. He is wearing a muscle suit. I heard that somewhere, and I wasn't for sure. And I ain't gonna lie, dude. I think they look pretty much perfect, but I think it would be cooler if they were kind of bodybuilder size like Arnold was. I mean, they kind of are, but just a little bigger, both of them. Just a little more, A lot of people always say though, like, oh, you can't move a sword around when you're that big, and there's bodybuilders that can't touch their back. But if my reply to that, my rebuttal is, well, look at Arnold, spinning the sword around in Conan. He lost like a bunch of muscle mass for that movie. Milius told him to, so he could swing the sword around. So you can be a bodybuilder and have that big physique and still swing a sword, dude. Yeah, totally. It's attainable. So, and I was on that. I agreed with that too. Like, yeah, you can't have a big guy doing all. No, you can. You totally can. So now I'm on that until I'm proven otherwise. Will the dude be able to move quicker like Momoa did and still be kind of big and fit in the middle? Yeah, that I'll give you that. But don't tell me you can't have a bodybuilder flipping a sword around. You could totally do that. Arnie did it. Anybody could do it. I don't know about anybody. Not everybody's built. You actually have to be built. God has to make you with that physique for bodybuilding. There's certain people that have the body to become bodybuilders. Not everybody has it. Leto was like the guy who was the new Batman. Genetically, he cannot put on muscle mass. Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. That's probably what it is. Yeah. And there's just some people that have that bodybuilder physique. Like Arnold's one of them. His son, Joseph, he's one of them too. I don't know if his other kids are like that. Because they got that. Maybe the Kennedys don't. Maybe the Shrivers don't have that, Everybody's built different. But we'll see, Looking forward to that movie. The Conan movie, I hope that gets made. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to kind of close that chapter of Conan. Once the Arnold movie's done, then we never just get that movie made. Then reboot it, get the new actor. Hopefully they make a TV show of it on HBO. I think that's the best way to do Conan. I was telling my brother yesterday too. I'm like, there's certain movies where like I wouldn't care if they had different properties. Like there's these evergreen properties where they can keep making these movies, these characters, right? Like Dracula and Frankenstein and Wolf. Dracula and Frankenstein, pretty much. You could keep making those movies, and I'm gonna go watch them, right? Because they're these evergreen characters, and I think a lot of that leads to like pulpier, kind of like 1800s Victorian, those type of characters. So. Like the Shadow, right? Back in the day, they used to have tons of Shadow movies coming out. I think Batman's that way too. You can make a ton of Batman movies. Definitely Conan. I would love to see like 2 Conan movies come out. You can have the Arnold one and then another one, and have a TV show. There will be some fatigue, but you'll definitely get around to watching it later. But yeah, like I think what was it the year before last? We had 3 Dracula movies. There was Renfield, Last Voyage of the Demeter, and I think Nosferatu. It was all in the same year, and they were all cool. They all did different shit, right? Especially if you bring something like that to it, it doesn't. I don't think it really hurts it. And then if they space the movies out like 4 months from each other, people kind of didn't that come out already? They're not really keen to it. People forget a lot of shit now too. That's another thing, self included. But yeah, I think some characters you can definitely milk them and put out, you know, multiple movies for them at the same time almost. But again, I mean, the contrast that might have been what kind of killed the Shadow. He was probably overdone back in those times because they were putting out tons of movies. I think one year they did 3 movies, all different productions. People do get a little tired, I guess. And they did that, I think, too, in Italy with the Django character. They were making a bunch of them. Django. Let's see here. I'm gonna fuck with this battle axe a little bit. Damn, time's flying, man. It's already an hour and 20 minutes. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys are gonna have a killer weekend. You're going out there and doing a bunch of fun stuff. Hope you're reading some cool comics. Hope you guys are buying comics. Making comics. Supporting comics. Thank you. Let's see. Brain rot is real. Yeah, it is, dude. It is. That's why, and it's really bad. Like the new generation, a lot of them go to the gym and they don't work out or drink and nothing like that, but they're on their phones and they're on their screens, bro. That's what's gonna be their downfall. You know, their brains rotting. And then, yeah, if you got kids, man, like keep them away from the computers and the tablets. I give my kids 3 hours a week. You do what you want with it. You get 3 hours. And they usually do 1 hour during the week and then 2 hours on the weekend. And that's all you get. You know. But a lot of people, man, they got their kids on their tablets like 5 hours a day and shit. Like, nah, dog. They're just melting out that frontal lobe, man. It's melting that lobe out. So you could hate me all you want, but you might thank me later. Again, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your dad. I'll be friendly with you, but you know, sorry. I think video games are better played when you're playing together, dude, in the living room. You know, on a big screen like GoldenEye, or playing in like a PC cafe. We're playing like Mario Kart or something, or Street Fighter. That's way better, bro. Way better. Yeah, dude. Keep kids far away from content. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm trying to bring my kids into like to help with my my fantasy world, you know. Anything I can. And if they come up with a good idea, I'll be like, that's good. And I'm like, let's try to come up with something a little more creative and like original, you know. My son's already came up with like some names of some stuff. He's created some characters. I'm trying to get my daughter doing it too. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, it's a little unoriginal. Like I'll be realistic with them. Like, let's think of something else though. They're like, but I only know about this. Like, what are you talking about? Because they don't have like the extensive lore of like fantasy and things like that probably I do. Maybe not saying I know a lot of shit, but I know some stuff. But I'm always looking for like something kind of creative. And then, you know, when I die, like you guys could have this stuff. I mean, maybe you guys might be able to do something with it, and you'll have the memories that we had making some of these creatures and worlds and characters and stories together. I think that's kind of cool. I always want to do a kid's book too one day, like something badass though. You know, something I would have wanted when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, I loved there was a St. George and the Dragon book that I loved, and it was bloody as fuck. And yeah, and it was done with colored pencils. The dragon looks so cool in there. I've always thought that St. George is like a really cool concept you could do for a movie. Like you know, there's a lot of ways you could take it. I mean, the soft one would be like Dragonheart style, but I would probably like to do something a little more like Conan or Lord of the Rings. Kind of like Death of Robin Hood, to be honest. Some dark. 24/7, bro. Yeah, so I just gotta and the devil, he knows when you're not in the room. when your kids have their devices, he fucking knows, and that's when all the shit pops out. Oh, listen to Matt. Oh, he's a satanic panic. Oh, listen to Matt Murk. Oh, fucking retard. Nah, dude, it's real, bro. Yeah, whatever. Because I've got it like dozens of times over the past fucking decade. You'll leave the room and then boom, something will pop on the moment you leave. So you gotta watch out for that shit. No matter what, even with your parental fucking locks and all that shit, the funny shit still gets through. So you got to be careful. I tell my kids that I'm probably the best friend they'll ever know, but we are not peers. I am their superior, senior. It is important to understand and be able to work with that. Exactly. Exactamundo. I want to make this axe right here. I'm going to try to do it like in the style of that movie. What the fuck am I doing, man? There we go. Yeah. It's weird that we got to kind of like pay attention to these times and pivot all the time, right? And be aware of what's going on. It's hard. It is hard. Do a little weapon design right here. Take a little liberties with this. When I say jump, you don't come back and down until I say so, right? And in reality, dude, you know, they don't have to. They it's a long time, but it's not like that long. Like they're gonna bounce and leave like when they're 18 and shit most of the time, you know. Hopefully not. Like I want my kids to. I don't want them to like leave and go and blow all their money and do stupid shit. You know, I want them to feel like they have a place. Like I'm in the belief that like once you have the kids, they're your responsibility for life, right? I know it might be a hot take, but for me, like my kids are my responsibility forever. But at the same time, I'm their responsibility too. So that way they know that Pops is always going to be there, and I'm responsible for what they do. And obviously, they might become like things could not work out later on. They could become monsters even. But I'm still responsible, and I will be there to get their back. There we go. It's a lot of work, yeah. But like I said, they should become your responsibility too. And I've found that a lot too, like in the Mexican community, that they're really family oriented more than the white community. A lot of us whites kind of kick our kids out, get out there and explore and live a little. You know, I've noticed a lot with like the Hispanic community, particularly at least from what I've like the Mexican community do. They're all about family, bro. Like forever, they really are. They talk a lot of shit, dude, but at the end of the day, man, it's all love. I like that. I think that the white community is lacking in that. At least the way I've, see it, dude. It's kind of weird. I'm not saying it's like that everywhere, all over the world, but it's from my experience and people I know, right? I told my kids they don't have to change my diapers when I'm old. That's why my retirement funds and the sexy nurse hired some money for, right? Yeah, I don't really want them doing that either, you know. I just tell them that, but for me personally, I don't want them to really. I don't want to hold them back, you know. I want them to get out there and do their thing. I don't want them to be worried about me when I'm in a retirement home. I'll be in there with my pencil and my paper and my probably a typewriter at that point. I don't know if I want to be on my phone writing shit or writing on my phone in the notes section. I might be wanting to just type the motherfucker up, you know. I don't know how much of my lobe I want to burn out when I'm like in my 80s or whatever. Hopefully I'm not though, man. I want to die healthy. Like I don't want to be in a bed. I want to be running around and shit. Like look at Arnie, man. He's gonna be making Conan when he's 80. The movie ain't gonna come out till he's like probably 82. No shit. So, but yeah, family's important, man. It really is. It really is. Whether your family is like not your blood or your blood, I think that's really important. And family could be friends, you know, that could be your family. But you know, if you have the luxury of having the privilege of having children, because it is a privilege, not everybody could do it. That's my stance on that. That's my children are my responsibility. If they fuck up, I got to do my best to help them with it or take accountability for it in some regard. Obviously, there's different circumstances, and there's a lot of things that could mean. If I'm ever to the point of retirement home, that's when I take up skydiving. I'm severely acrophobic. Yeah, I don't know about the skydiving, bro. Like, I used to be really into heights, and when I was younger, you know. Now it kind of gets me dizzy. Now I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Especially like when you go on those carny rides, bro. You could hear the screws spinning and the wheels, the gears and the cogs turning, you know? You could hear the rust flaking off of it and the clinging and the clanging as you're spinning around in the zipper or the what is it, Galvatron or yeah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Those freak me out, man. Those carny rides. Because I got stuck in one when I was in high school and it wasn't fun. I got stuck up in the zipper. I was up in there for like an hour. Yeah. I was like, ugh. I'm not feeling this anymore. And then like there's one in like Knott's Berry Farm. I don't know if you guys ever been there in California. You go, there's like this Supreme Scream tower where it takes you up to the top and you're like, I don't know how many stories you are in the air, but the house, you can see the houses in like Buena Park and Anaheim because they're right there and they're like little specks, right? And you're just sitting up there. I'm like, all right, dude, all right, I'm good. Like, get me out of here. Then you hear like a decompression, and then you're like, oh fuck, and then you just drop, right? The vertigo kicks in when you get old. It does, right? Yeah, my kid's like trying to get me to go on these rides, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to, man. Yeah, I try to avoid the carnival. I'm not gonna lie. I'll see the signs, carnival next year or next month. Do 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 do. I'm like, oh, look out that window. Oh, look, a deer. You know, see a big sign or something. Like, I don't want to go. If I don't, I'll do it if I have to. I'll do like a lot of stuff if I have to, but fuck that. If I ain't got it, I don't want to. No siree, Bob. Let's see here. Maybe we'll do a little something like this. Yeah, one year it was just one year, just randomly I didn't want to do it. Wasn't feeling it. Same thing with like the roller coasters at like Six Flags Magic Mountain. Didn't want to go on them. I'll still go on water slides though. Excuse me. I like the water slides. There's this one at Great Wolf Lodge called the Wolf Tail in Anaheim, and it's a tube, right? So you're in like this little tube right up here at the top, and so you go up the stairs, whatnot, and you're in this tube, and then it just shoots you straight down like that. It's a free fall, and then you just kind of go down like that. When you go in there, you have to like stand in there with your like arms crossed like that, and then your like legs crossed like that. And it's basically the same thing as like from Batman and Forever when Val Kilmer, he's sitting in that chair and he's like, chair. And he goes in that little pod and goes back to the Batcave. But when they drop the floor out from underneath you, and then you just fall, you free fall for like a quantum, but that quantum is like, feels like a long time. And you're just like, and then you hit right here, and then you shoot out down the thing like that. You come down. It's just like it's pretty scary, you know. And the rides there, they're not open all the time. So you're like, but it's fun, man. I dig the water slides though. I'll do those. I'll do the water slides. Yeah, yeah. I used to love heights too as a kid. I would run down walls, bro, like cement walls. I would run down them. I had really good balance too. I used to, do that all the time. I lived like on a street where there were like apartment complexes. Every driveway was a almost like a project condo or an apartment complex. So that like on the one street, and the street was on the side of the freeway. It ran parallel with the freeway. So every driveway was an apartment complex, and each complex had like a couple hundred people. So there was literally thousands of people on that lived on that block. So there was always kids to play with. There was always assholes out there, a couple gangsters out there, drug dealers, pimps, all kinds of shit. And it was just this little, but I would go and run down these things and jump up on the roofs. I would get up on the roofs. I would do all kinds of stupid shit. Get out there and play. All right. Later, brother. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Have a great weekend. Yeah. Later, brother. Have a good one. I'll see you. Both you guys, take it easy. All right. So we got that. We got the little axe right there. Let me put a little something right here. A little spike on there or something, or a ball. Yeah. Set an axe right there. It's pretty cool. Right. Right. Got that. Pretty much have kind of got him lined up right here. All right. So we'll start working on the Kurgan right now. I think I might start drawing his sword. Let's see. Got to mess with the hand right here. Probably gonna finish watching The Bluff today if I got time. Got that hand right there. All right. let's check out the Kurgan costume again. This one's pretty crazy. This one's a little trickier as well. All right. Kurgan, probably. Just keep hitting back on here. Oh, whoops. That, clear that out. Kurgan. Here we go. Dolph Lundgren's going head to toe with the Kurgan. It's pretty badass, huh? Kurgan. Right? Let's see. So he's going to have a big old shoulder pad right here. Like that. And I think he's got them on both sides too. He's going to have another one right here. It makes me think of that game, man, Darksiders. Those first two games were the shit. I didn't play the last one though. It looked like they switched up a little bit, but I don't know if anyone watching right now has played Darksiders with the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. But Joe Madureira designed the characters in there. So cool. All right, there's that. Okay, these are pretty big. Yeah, I think that might be able to get away with that. And then I'm gonna have to turn. Let's see. I guess I could draw the sword right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna work on the sword. We got that right there. See, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then the handle would be right here. It's the handle right there. All right. And then the sword. Man, that sword's long. It's like a claymore. 2, 3. Yeah, dude. All right, let's see. Might even make it a little longer. Oh, wait. Let me see the tip of it. Wow, look at the tip of that sword. It's crazy. It's just... Didn't even notice that. It's kind of blunt. Wow. Doesn't have like a real big point on it. Amazing. It's important though. You got to get those details in there. Then it kind of comes up like this. Yeah. It's got these little rivets in there too. Kind of split up. You can see that like right there. And it goes the rivet that way, or indentation, if you will. Kind of do this real quick. It's a trusty ruler. This is my favorite one. My favorite ruler right here. Not too big, not too small, just right. You know. You can get it for like probably $1 at Hobby Lobby, and it'll last you a lifetime. Some art supplies are like greatest investment. Yeah. So that's a weird sword. It's very strange. So like right here, it gets kind of unbelievably narrow. To go back and do some research on that sword. Yeah, right here it gets really narrow, like that. All right. And then up at the top, it's got a little more orientation, indentation right there. And it splits to the side. It goes back down again right here. It splits to the side. And then most of this is all just indented. Indentation right there. All right. I'm probably gonna have a bit of that. Get that entrance wound. Right. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I do appreciate it. Looks like we're starting to cover some ground on this stream. Hopefully, right? Going about an hour and 45 minutes. About 15 minutes left or so. Keep rocking and rolling on this because the Kurgan has a lot of stuff going on right here. It's got the glove. Okay, the shoulder pad right there. Oh, wow. Okay. It's the top of the handle. Right. And then we're going to have the gauntlet right there. It's probably about like that big. Pretty fat. There we go. It's probably hugging this side of his arm because of the physics of it. And then there's this up here is kind of going in a little. Side of there. Oh, look at that little squirrel outside. Little fella. I heard squirrels are actually becoming what is it, omnivores now? They're eating meat, allegedly. It's wild. Right. Then he has this thing on the outside. I think it's like this. That elbow pad or whatever, elbow arms. It's got one right here too, like that. So just remember. For lasers. And it looks like he just kind of has like some chainmail right there. Kind of covering this up. Let's see. There's a lot of fur right here. This part looks kind of leathery. And then I think this is going to have a lot of fur kind of coming down like that. Covering up the armpit area. Man, such a cool costume. Wow. It's so cool that like you really shouldn't, if you're going to remake it, you should probably include it. Wow. Yeah. Can't really top that. I mean, so far of what I've seen of the Kurgan, I'm sorry, you can't hold a candle to it. He's dressed like a priest in the photos. So, but yeah, judging by this, I don't know, man. A little bit of hair right here coming down. Looks like there's some dimples in the armor right here. I wasn't aware of. I could see it. You got the belt buckle right here, but that's getting covered up. Kind of jumping around a little bit right now. Let's see. And we got the big knee pad right here. Fucking metal. Oh yeah, I like that knee brace, man. Really cool. I'm gonna wait on that. Some of the stuff, like I was saying, I'm not gonna draw live because it's a lot of ornamentations and whatnot on the armor. I won't draw all of it, but still, there's still a lot, even if I don't draw all of it. It's kind of the same thing I did with Sauron. There was a lot of work. Hey, what up, Brian? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Still down for tonight at midnight, right? We're gonna do that meeting. I got a million things to do right now after the stream. A million errands to run and things of that nature. I don't know if you're still there, but yeah. I'm down, dude. Let's see here. It's gonna have to be a little wider, like maybe like that. Something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Get rid of the clean that up a little bit. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I'll set it up and shoot it over to you. I'll probably set it up like around 11:30 or something, or earlier, as soon as I can. We can get that going. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Much to talk about, sir. Hope you're having a great Friday, Brian. Still a long day, a lot of stuff to do. I hope all is well with you, my friend. Oh, Brian, if now you're there, check out The Bluff on Prime. It's a pirate movie with Carl Urban and the I forgot the Indian lady, the actress. She's married to the Jonas Brothers, like Paprika or some shit. It's pretty badass, dude. I think you'll dig it. It's got like a pulpy vibe to it. It's gory too, man. So gory. And they have, dude, they have really good, really cool weapons in there. Okay, the earlier the better. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really think it's woke. It's just she is kind of Mary Sue-ish in there, but it's fucking cool, you know. I just think of like, you know, like Baylit or like Red Sonja or fucking Valeria. You know what I mean? Like if you made a proper like Valeria movie, would we call it a Mary Sue at this point? You got to really think about that, right? Because she can never be unarmed by anybody. So, but no, it was cool, man. Tamura Morrison was in there. Um, Carl Urban's in there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, as far as the streaming night, yeah, I'll as soon as I get home, man, I'll definitely set up as soon as possible. Yep. That's why I like Prey. I thought Prey did a good job of towing the line with that. Like it's almost like, I mean, hot take, but it's almost like dudes are cool to have barbarian chicks, right? Kick ass and do all the shit. But if they're like in another genre, sometimes they're like, that's a Mary Sue. But it's like, well, I mean, I don't know. When do we say something's Mary Sue and then when it's not? You know, I was thinking about that. I know a lot of it has to do with like what's her head like from Star Wars. You know, just gaining everything and being the uber badass. Nah, this movie was cool. I mean, this chick was getting the shit beat out of her. You know, so it feels brutal. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't feel that way in this movie. She was getting the shit beat out of her. She was cool. She reminded me of Baylit, if I were to be honest. You know, like in another time. It reminded me of Robert E. Howard character, like if he was going to do a pirate chick in like the actual 1800s. Do you know what I'm saying? And the weapons, bro, the weapons in there, Brian. The weapons, the guns in there, dude. Carl Urban had like the fucking Puritanian pistol, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, they had a bunch of cool, like unorthodox guns that were of that time, weapons and stuff. This one guy gets like they blow him half with a cannon with a ball and a cannonball, dude. They like sentence him, you know, on a shooting line, and they take the camera and they zoom it out. But when they fire they fire it off, you can just see like the meat just like explode and turn into particulate in the background. It's out of focus, dude, but it's fucking looks crazy. But yeah, the fights in there, man, they're pretty cool. From what I watched, they had some good gags, and she's got a lot of the booby traps and stuff like that. Like what was that movie? Prey. Yeah. Yep. 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 Speaking of Carl Urban, I watched Mortal Kombat 2 last night, and it's okay, better than the last one for sure. Yeah, that's, you know, I've been hearing good things about it, and I've been hearing okay things about it, and I've heard some people say that it was whack, but I'm sure it's better than the last one, right? Yeah. Well, I got a little bit done today. We got He-Man pretty much going in there. Got his little axe, his sword. Got the Dolph sword. We got the Kurgan blade in there. He has a crazy sword, the Kurgan. That tip of the blade is crazy. And the little like fluting. I think that's called fluting. The indentations like that. I think it's called fluting. It's pretty wild. I didn't even notice that. It's crazy when you're drawing characters from movies and whatnot, and anything really. You start to notice all the details and what you didn't notice before about the costume design. Yeah, I dig it. But yeah, I'm about to go. Got to go to the store. Got to take the kids out to a million places and do a bunch of stuff right now. But thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday night. Work hard, play hard, you know. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. We'll see you guys next time. And peace.